Hello everybody. Tonight I've decided to take up another Dischrision video, and tonight's topic is going to be about Escape the Fate. Now, this is going to be a bit of a background of their history, as well as just me talking about the band in general, and I will say more on the full topic later on in the video, so let's get to it. So like I said, first off, I'm just going to get into a little bit of a background history about the band. They do have a bit of a lengthy explanation, but it won't take me too long, so let's get straight to it. Okay, so originally Escape the Fate consisted of members that were Ronnie Radke, Max Green, Monty Money, Robert Ortiz, Omar Espinoza, as well as Carson Allen. Now, this was a six-piece band when they first started, and they put out a demo. Now, after this demo was heard by Epitaph Records, and they were on a tour with some Epitaph bands like Alkaline Trio, they got signed. After they had the demo and got signed, they put out their first official EP, which was called There's No Sympathy for the Dead. After this EP came out, Carson Allen, who was the keyboardist player, actually left the band to pursue other things as a music career, which I will get to more later, as well as other members of the band, but either way, that's later on. Okay, so the first full-length the band released, which I'm sure many of you may know, was called Dying Is Your Latest Fashion. Now, this was a huge success, being on Epitaph, getting a lot of notes from fans and from the label as well. And it actually wasn't more than about a year later that Omar Espinoza, which was their rhythm guitarist, had to leave the band for personal reasons. A little bit later in 2008, I'm sure a lot of you know, Ronnie Radke had an altercation, which was an incident that led to the shooting and death of a young teenager adult. Now, he did not shoot the individual, however, he was there in the scene and he got charged nonetheless, and he was put on probation, and he broke probation and was arrested. And when he got arrested, he got fired from Escape the Fate. Not long after did Escape the Fate have their new vocalist, who was, and I'm sure a lot of you may know as well, Craig Mabbitt, who was formerly the vocalist of Bless the Fall, who left the band not long after, and since he was friends with Max Green, became Escape the Fate singer. So the second album they released, which had Craig as their vocalist, was This War Is Ours. Now again, this album saw a lot of success, just like Dying Is Your Latest Fashion. However, it received a lot of attention due to the fact they had a new singer, and a lot of fans argued Craig, is doing a better job. It's not the same without Ronnie. So a lot of arguments were up in the air, but that's all you can really do. This album actually eventually saw a re-release with a deluxe edition, which had a couple of bonus tracks like acoustic stuff and some remixes, so it was really cool to see, and it also had a bonus DVD as well. The next album that Escape the Fate was working on was their self-titled album, Escape the Fate, and it saw a lot of, as far as I know, not as positive feedback, and I think it's because they went for a lot of difference in the album. They tried to be different and diverse, and I think a lot of fans didn't enjoy it. I mean, I didn't mind the album. It's not their best, of course, but there's nothing wrong with experimenting in a band. As the curse goes, after this album was released, due to some personal problems to do with drugs, Max Green actually left the band, and coming in to replace him a little while after was TJ Bell, who was formerly in Motionless in White. The newest album from Escape the Fate, which came out not too long ago, is called Ungrateful. Now, this features a lot from This War Is Ours as well as the self-titled album, which is cool because you can see a great mix of different instrumentals and a lot of things that they want to try on, which is more successful this time. Of course, not as great as an impact as their first two albums, but it was still a good album nonetheless. When this album was actually released, the band said they had a new full-time lineup, which consisted of the two original members left that were Robert, their drummer, as well as Monty, their lead guitarist. Craig Mabbitt was their vocalist, as well as I just mentioned, TJ Bell was their bass player. They announced that their new full-time rhythm guitarist, who was actually in the band for a little while, was actually Monty's brother. So it was pretty cool to see. However, not long after, which is the newest Escape the Fate news, during their most recent tour they were supposed to have with Five Finger Death Punch, Monty and his brother both declined to go on the tour. So currently the guitar player for Escape the Fate, I'm pretty sure it's just rhythm guitar, is TJ Bell. He moved up to guitar from bass, and Max Green is actually touring with the band. but he's not back as a full-time member. Before I get into a little bit more of a discussion about Escape the Fate and how I think they should go about what most bands would do after so many lineup changes, first I want to talk a bit about members who have left the band and gone on to do other things with a musical career. So first off, like I said earlier, Carson Allen actually went out to start 2 different bands as well. I think a solo project. On the Last Day and Me Versus Myself. I don't think they saw much commercial success. I mean, they probably had little fan bases, but nothing that a lot of people stuck out as, or not a lot of fans were up in arms about, because he was the first person to leave the band before they were really, really big. The next one to leave was Omar, and he went on to do a band called The Black and White City, which I never listened to, but he also started another band called Perfect Like Me, which he, of course, is no longer in. But I actually really got into Perfect Like Me because of this, and this band is awesome. After Ronnie left, of course, and served his time in jail and got out in 2010, I do believe, he started Falling in Reverse. And, of course, the controversy surrounding Escape the Fate and Falling in Reverse never stops because fans are always arguing about it. But yes, that was Ronnie's newest endeavor after getting out of prison, so it's good to see he's in a band. As well as another member leaving, Max Green. He started a new band. I'm not positive on the name, but if I can remember it, I'll link it down below. But right now he is touring with the band, so it's cool to see. But it would be cool to see him as a full-time member again, because that way you'd have at least most of the original lineup again, I guess. Well, actually no, you'd still only have half. The only one you have to worry about is good old Robert Ortiz leaving. He's pretty set on the drums. Good old Slash lookalike. So as you just saw, a nice few people have left the band, which is strange to see, but I mean, some circumstances you can't really stop. This band is very big. I'm sure a lot of people watching this video, I already know Escape the Fate and really enjoy the music. Regardless if it's newer and or older Escape the Fate, it's still very enjoyable, and a lot of fans would agree. So I just want to ask a question as well as answer my own question. Should Escape the Fate continue on and or get under a new band name? Personally, after all the changes, I would not argue with a change in name. I do believe that since first beginning as a band and growing with technically now only one original member, as far as I know, because Monty is not officially out of the band, it's just saying all this controversy, seems like he's gone right now, and I'm not doubting it whatsoever. But with one original member left, as well as new members that seem to come and go, it's not as many as you would think, but still, when you're in a band, especially as big and successful as that, you got to question, do you keep the name and have the fame under that name because of what you've built or what previous members have built and that you're trying to keep building on, or do you just start anew like Attack Attack did? People left, they started their own bands, and then Attack Attack was like, shit, we gotta, change our name. They decided we're gonna do it, and they went to a band called Native. They all started it. Wetzel and Wedding and their other singer from I Am Abomination, whatever. Either way, it's not about Attack Attack. In the previous video I did do about Attack Attack, I said I'm pretty sure they should start under a new name. So it worked out pretty cool, so they got that. But yeah, I'm going to say myself, I think that maybe getting under a new name would be a good idea. I love Escape the Fate, I do. But after everything you go through, it's just, I think it's time for a change up maybe. People can get bored, and the arguments just kind of get old. But even if they got under a new name, it would still be the same thing. So yes, I'm going to go with they should change the name, start something fresh, and just take those members, put it into something new, create something awesome. Camera cut off, sorry. Okay, either way, there's no stopping the success in this band, and they have a lot of talented members. So under a new name, I feel like they could grasp a lot of new fans as well as their older fans who would like to see a new sound from these members in the band. Yeah, so my question to you is, do you think Escape the Fate should change the name, or just stick with it and hope for the best, and hopefully no more members leave, right? But yeah, that's about it. If you want me to discuss another band or another topic, just leave it down below, and I'll talk about it within the next few weeks. That's about all I have to say, guys. So remember, it's music for today, music for tomorrow, and music for life. Peace out.